Hello and welcome back to the Gourmet Pantry. Today we're going to be having a look at canapes. In particular, roast beef, horseradish, caramelised onion on Yorkshire pudding. It's got a rustic charm to it, not too fiddly and finicky, and very easy to do in large numbers. Now if you want to have a look at the recipe for Yorkshire puddings, check my link below. Otherwise, hop on with the video. The trick to great canapes is great ingredients. And for the roast beef, I'm using really good quality fillet beef. The absolute worst thing you can do with fillet is overdo it. You want it to be as rare can be. Rare for steak is 52 degrees centigrade or 125 degrees Fahrenheit. Basically means it's the lowest temperature at which proteins in the meat start to denature and therefore cook. So grab your beef, open the pack and season. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of paprika. And the same on the other side. You could at this point pop it on the griddle pan and cook it as you normally would. However, I would strongly suggest against that. Personally, I'm going to sous vide this steak just so I know it's categorically perfectly done all the way through. Because when you're getting an expensive cut of meat like this, you don't want to be wasting any and you want it to be perfect, otherwise it's not worth it. So grab a bag, pop it in, put in a little bit of olive oil, grab a big pan, fill it with water, pop it on the hob, place the pouch in the water, allowing all the air to run out of the top, and then seal it up. Much easier than using a vacuum packer. Now, there are two ways to do this. You can either take your trusty thermometer and make sure the temperature holds steady at 125 degrees Fahrenheit or 52 degrees centigrade. But I've got other things to do. I'm going to take out my trusty sous vide. Highly recommend one of these. Once upon a time, sous vide was only for the realms of the high-end restaurants, but now with immersion sous vide, rather than the bathtub ones you used to have that took up more space than a microwave, you can use any old pan, dump this in the top of it, and it will hold the water at exactly the right temperature. Now, the water's been on the hob for a little while now, so it has had a chance to bring it up to close to the temperature that this thing's going to hold it at, so you don't have to wait for as long. So I'm going to go and switch the heat off, chuck this in, get it set up, and Bob's your uncle. For a piece of meat that size, I'd expect it to take anywhere between half an hour and 3/4 of an hour. So put your feet up, relax, and come back. If you miss the timing, don't worry, because it's being held at the perfect temperature, it can't overcook. You could leave it in there for 12 hours and it wouldn't make much of a difference. Once your meat's been in the sous vide for at least half an hour, preferably 3/4 or more, I've actually just spent an hour and a half in front of the television, chuck a griddle pan on the hob, full heat. Once the pan's reached temperature and is screaming hot, grab your meat out of the bag and lay it down. Because the meat's already cooked, all we're doing is burning the outside and giving it a really nice charred flavour to intermingle with all the other flavours that's going to be going on in this canapé. Literally 30 seconds on each side is all you need. Now here comes the magic. This meat has been cooked perfectly rare the whole way through it, thanks to the sous vide, with just 0.5 millimeter of charring on the outside. So you don't get any dryness and you don't get any overcooking, but you get all of the flavour and all of the delicacy. Now you can make this work with all kinds of cuts. Personally, I'm going for the best, which is fillet. But if you wanted to get away with, let's say, a sirloin steak, make sure you cut it incredibly thinly and no one will be able to tell the difference. God, my life is going through that like butter. Look at that, rare through the whole middle with just that lovely charring all the way around the edge. Uniformity and just perfectly cooked the whole way through. That is the genius of sous vide. As thinly as you can, slice the meat. Oh, I'm gonna have to try one of these. Oh my God. I can't describe to you how good this meat is. This is what you get from fillet. As I said, if you carve it thinly, you can get away with other cuts, but if you want to do it properly, there is no beating fillet. It is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. No more, or there's going to be none left for the canapés. Just one more. The flavour of the paprika has just gone all the way through the meat and just picked up all of its flavour and just given it just that little bit extra oomph. Just try it. Just try it, it's delicious. So here in front of me, going into the canapé, we've got some creme fraiche, some horseradish, which we're going to mix together to mellow out the horseradish and give it a bit more of a creamy texture. We've got some caramelised onions, which I made in a slow cooker. If you want to see the recipe for that, have a look below. And we've got some freshly made Yorkshire puddings, which again, if you want to see the best way of making them, have a look in the link below. What we're going to do first of all is grab a little dollop of creme fraiche and a little dollop of horseradish. Give them a little mix. Taste test it, make sure it's all up to par. Good. Break open your Yorkshire puddings into nice bite-sized chunks. That was a bit too small. Now, quickly cover them on the horseradish. Little dollop, not too much. You do not want to ruin the flavour of this beautiful beef. You've got a couple of people around to help. You can sort out a little production line. I find it's easier if you're on your own, just to do one stage at a time, do them all, and then go back through them. Now we get hold of our meat and a little curl on each one. If you get to the end and you've got some left, go through the bigger ones and just put an extra bit of meat on. So you can bear it, be generous, because it's going to work out in the long run when your guests are begging you to make this again. Now for the final flavour, caramelised onion. Just a little dollop on top of every one brings a needed bit of sweetness into it. Again, not too much. You don't want to mask this beautiful meat. And there we have it. It really is as easy as that. It's a simple recipe, but there's so much going on in there. You've got the meatiness, the spicy meatiness, thanks to the paprika, the horseradish giving it a bit more heat. The onion comes in there and just sweetens the whole thing up. The creme fraiche is mellowing everything out, and the bread just acts to accentuate and elongate all of that flavour in your mouth. Absolute winner. As always, if you've liked this video, please do click like below and subscribe to my channel. Any questions, do chuck them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.